Hello Sim fans, Racing 393. Got a little bit of a special video here for you today. With all the F1 content about, what I thought I'd do is I just put a little bit of a compilation together to see how accurate they are when comparing, back to back. Each sim tends to have its own, pluses and minuses, good and bad. And you can see by the three in front of me there, I've got like three main games or sims, if you like. At the top we've got Raceroom. In the middle there we've got F122. And at the bottom we've got Assetto Corsa, which is more of like a bespoke gaming racing simulator, if you like. The other main sim that I've omitted from here is R-Factor 2, and the only reason that is because it tends to take ages to sort of load up and and sort of configure itself. So I thought, well, just for the time aspect alone, I'll just put the three up here that are quite easily accessible. So because of at the time of this video, we've got the Hungaroring, so they've got the World Championship F1 at Hungary this weekend. I thought I would use that circuit as well, as it's in all three of these. Raceroom, as you know, just has a generic track. It's not an official track. I don't think it's laser scanned in any stretch. And also it's not an official F1 car, so it's as close to it as possible. F122 recently came out. That's all official. It's got the official track, cars, teams, etc. So we'll give that a go. And then on to Assetto Corsa, which is very bespoke. This one has the Hungaroring as a mod, but it's the most up-to-date one that I can find with modern skin on the track. So it should have all the latest advertising boards and hoardings that are around the track. And the car in question is a 2022 Ferrari, but made by Sim Dream Development. I think I called it Sim Dream, a Sim Dream. The problem is it's actually talking with these on, and then the sound of the whatever it is you're driving or whatever you're doing, and actually doing it itself, driving, it can be a little bit of a problem. So you'll have to excuse some of my pronunciations. It is a genuine mistake. So we've got three, what I think are good titles. I did give F122 a little bit of a hard time. It's just had an update 1.06, so I haven't played it for a while, and the first time I played it was doing these three videos, and it's very surprising. Actually, I was very pleased. They all have you want a combination of all three of these in one title, and then you might get something that's superb. So without further ado, I'm going to step aside and let you watch the video and come to your own conclusions. And at the end of the video, I will do another sort of closeout, if you like. So enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Okay, we're gonna let's take this car around. So this is the first of my tests. Assetto Corsa around the Hungaroring in a modern day F1 car. Now the Hungaroring I've got on here is one of the latest renditions of the track with a reasonably up-to-date F1 skin on the track. So let me just let's hop in.
Your exit is clear. Watch the white line.
So we've got the tyre running this time. So we can see how hot the tyres get. You can see the track's a little bit more up to date with its sponsorship banners, and it's an upgraded version of the track, so it looks a little bit more keeping to what it's like now. Definitely feels a little bit more realistic, I would say. So we're going to do a couple of laps, just to warm the tyres up the best I can. Well, let's try one or another one. I'll say one more, but you never know. Locked up there. Yeah, you guessed it. Try again. Another lap. A cold inside front tyre isn't helping. So we're coming round the final bend to the main straight on the fastest lap. I've slowed the video down so that I can talk. It'll be a bit of a longer sort of chat around the track, and I'm giving you my feedback on how I think the mod of the car is suited to the most up-to-date version of the track. Now, the track itself is amazingly detailed. I think it seems, I mean, having just watched Free Practice 2 for the real world F1, yeah, you can definitely see the similarities with the Aramco and the sort of the buildings and Rolex, the normal sort of stuff. So the track definitely is a much better rendition than when I first drove this, and I was actually trying to drive the car a bit quicker. The inside front tyre just wouldn't warm up, I felt. So I don't know whether that's I mean, I get it. I mean, it's a clockwise circuit, I understand that. The back tyres were getting reasonably hot. You can see that they're 20 psi, if that's correct according to the app there on Assetto Corsa. And that front inside, apart from these sort of left-hand bends, which will put some weight on there, which you might see it change colour slightly as you're sort of weighing the car up on the turn in. It should put weight onto that outside front tyre. Doesn't seem to be changing too much on the app. I don't know whether the app actually works with the replay, to be honest, but the back tyres were definitely overheating. But the art to this track, as they've said, it is as a nice line there. It is a go-kart track for a full run car. So it's corner after corner after corner, and getting those corners accurate is what is a key to this track to get a lap time. Now the lap time I did was, I think I heard a 1:28. That's nowhere near quick by any stretch. I don't know how quick you could get this car to go around. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether the cars that Sim Dream developments, how accurate are the physics? We don't know. The purpose of this video is to compare various F1 titles around the Hungaroring, considering it is a current round of the F1 World Championship at Hungaroring. This chicane here, you have to sort of ride a bit of the curbs. It's so narrow to keep the speed up. Each corner, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but leads into another corner, and it's important to try and keep that momentum going around these corners. Keep a nice, tidy, smooth line through. You can see there possibly, or not possibly, that was definitely a little bit too wide, because I came wide on the AstroTurf on the exit there. Usually that's where you can spear off into the barriers. But the car does handle really well. I definitely like the way that this track looks. Got the downloads off of Race Department. Let's see how wide I was here for the camera. There's plenty more room there, so we can definitely come out further onto that that outside curb there. This is a really cool, I personally find very difficult. It's like a hairpin with a funny apex. I'm not so sure I've got the right line here. I think I was turning in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't suppose keeping an apex there is going to improve that corner. I don't know. Definitely need more practice there. But that's difficult. That's always been difficult on this track. And this is coming around now to the final of all the pits. Yeah, so the car looks fantastic. Like I said in my previous video, it's not quite 100% how the car is. Having watched Free Practice 2 and the Ferraris, they do look different, if I'm honest. So around the final corner, did I do DRS? The DRS is there, the board, but you don't really want to be doing the DRS too early. There you go, DRS is now open. And we go across the line there. So let me just find out what the actual lap time was. So the lap time for the Ferrari F175 2022 Sim Dream Developments. It's the latest edition of their Ferrari. I did that. I did, as you can see, 10 laps there, but I did that in a 1 minute 28.9. And although the theoretical best could have been a 7, so I don't know. That's definitely nowhere near the pace of the real cars. So you can see the sim isn't simulating a real lap time. But I was quite pleased with that. The track's very good. And the car does drive very well once you get the tyres warmed up. So we're going to leave that there, and we're going to compare that lap with, we'll perhaps go to a lap of the Hungaroring in the official F122. So we're in just initially F122. So I'm just going to show you the quick sort of layout of the car. The car definitely looks a little bit more detailed, as you can see as I spin this around. It does look at, you can see it's got some more patterns there on the floor. The back wing is more detailed. We're comparing this to Sim Dream Developments. As you go round the car, let's tip it up. You can see the back exhaust is a little bit more coloured as you would expect it to be, more like a stainless steel or titanium, as they're probably using, to be fair. And we'll go a bit further round the back of the car. More detail there with, I'll just show you, come back here a little bit. Look at there between the wheel and the diffuser here. Those elements, the cooling, amazing detail. So you can't knock F122 for their commitment for detailing. Even the exhaust does look really, really good for something that's just for show, effectively. Yeah, so a nicely detailed model. Let's anyway, let's hop into the car on the Hungaroring and let's get some laps in. Whilst we're here, I've just brought up the lap record, a 1:16.6. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near that. I'll do my best. I'll see what. This is only time trial, so I don't quite know. I don't think the tyres make a difference. They're just set for everyone to do a time trial, so there's no advantages by having soft or medium or hard. So it's just a generic tyre. So this is in time trial. This is obviously the straight. We'll have the tyre gauge up as well. So we'll do a couple of laps here. I can't get rid of that line, so that's annoying. So this is supposed to be the most up-to-date graphic of the track. I ain't too sure. It looks alright, but I don't think it's as detailed as Assetto Corsa. The car does feel alright, I'll be honest with you. I think I might have slated it in another video, but it doesn't feel too bad. So I'm going to do a few laps, then I'm going to come back and you can watch me hopefully complete a couple of fast laps. So the tyre's nice and hot, let's give it a lap. Not much talk, I'm afraid, lots of concentration. DRS line is a lot later in this edition of the track. hard work. Not a bad lap. We'll try one more. Goes well. Wide there. That ghost car is the next person. Oh, wide. Look at that. That other red car's me. Curve, sorry. There we have it. That's... I slated this game, but there's been an update since. But although the update hasn't actually changed the tyres, but it's changed the force feedback. That's my understanding. I don't know what lap time I got because I haven't got my apps. The apps don't work with the game at the moment. Just lap time was a 1:21.3, so that's still way off. I can see whoever Steve is in the McLaren, a 1:21.1. So I did try it yesterday. That was a bit better. So here's a 1:21.317. So the graphics are a little bit, they need a bit of work there, don't they? I don't think you can slow it down, you can only pause. That's what I'm led to believe. There is a shadow there, which you can turn off. That's the sort of the fastest laps. But it looks good. I mean, just having watched a free practice session, it looks pretty accurate, to be honest. The track. I suppose the background, the graphics are a lot better, much neater. Probably not much different to 21, if I'm honest. And we'll keep it on the out car. So this was a 1:21.317. Still way off a respectable pace. A 1:16, 17, 18 is probably more where it should be. Looking at the replay, it looks like we've got some more laps. Try Raceroom now, and they don't do official cars as such. I think the touring cars might be. They got the liveries and things, so there must be some licensing. But as far as Formula 1 is concerned, what we've got here is what they call the Formula Raceroom X17. So this is as close to a Formula 1 car as possible, without going they got the Formula Raceroom 90, which would be the historic 90s Formula 1 cars, which are better, I must say, but we're trying to keep the experience through, at the moment, all three formats, games, sims, as similar as possible. We're on the Hungaroring again. Be good to compare this one. This is the tracks in Raceroom are just generic. They're not, to my, maybe some of the newer tracks are laser scanned, but I'm pretty sure some of the older ones are not. Woo. So we're going to get out on track for practice. So in true Raceroom fashion, sounds really good. So let me just get a few laps under my belt. Let's see if we can do another lap, because I made loads of mistakes in that previous one.
Sector 3 is 1.7, your best.
So I couldn't actually talk whilst doing that lap. The track itself does take a hell of a lot of concentration to get it right. Raceroom is far best out of all those, the three I've tried so far. That's Assetto Corsa with the mod, the official F122, and this an unofficial open wheel Formula 1 type of car, if you like, around a reasonably accurate Hungaroring, and it's by far the most playable. I'm going to try and sort a replay out now. So here's the lap, one of my quick laps. I do it in full time, not full time, normal speed, full time. Anyway, you can see here it's a much more simplistic graphics for a game. Runs absolutely sweet. Again, so many updates for this game that they keep improving, and it goes to show that this is one of the most playable race sims on the market. It really is underrated. It might not have the absolute simulation feeling, but they've got things like the sparks, as you can see there. Looked real enough. And this is one of the quickest laps I was doing. Admittedly, the specification of the car isn't the same. And this is the final lap now. So, and across the line, and that's the end of that. So we did a 1:25.6. Admittedly, on the official F1 game. It was a 121.3. So this is it feels quicker, but it's a lot slower. So there's a big difference in the speed of which it feels and the time that you're getting. That just isn't consistent. To me, this seemed to have a lot more feel of speed. The field of view's reasonably similar, as close as I can get it. Or not so much their match, but more so for me personally, and where I'm sat, my wheel looks like it's in the cockpit. It's never going to be absolutely perfect. I don't like what I would call the zoomed out look, which might be more realistic in FOV. But it's not as immersive, nowhere near. So what I'll do is, once you've cut through this, I'll do a summary of the 3 titles of what I thought. Well, that's the end of that. I appreciate you watching that. Now, I'm just going to do a quick closeout video, and yes, I am wearing a hat, and the main reason I'm wearing a hat is so that I can see which intro or outro it is I'm going to edit, just for my own purposes. So what do you think then? So that was the a quickish track and car combination from 3 different simulators: Raceroom, a Raceroom experience, the official F1 2022 season game, and the more bespoke Assetto Corsa with added mods here and there to make it an up-to-date experience. So to give you my thoughts, so with Assetto Corsa, fantastic graphics. The car might not be the quickest as opposed to out-and-out lap time, but it drives very well. You can kind of, to a point, it's got some really good force feedback, but the limit of grip is somewhat missed comparing to the other 2 games. And also the field of view just takes a little bit of getting used to. I don't run a wheel in game. I've always run it without, so I try to position it so that my steering wheel looks like it's in the game from where I'm sat. But from a recording perspective, where possible, of course, I try to keep the wheel off screen. I find Assetto Corsa ever so slightly more fiddly to get to the right FOV. After that, we went to the official F1 game, which in a previous video I started to sort of dismiss because I played it a while ago, but they had an update, 1.06, which is recently, and amongst many things, the update included some force feedback and tyre properties. However, in the time trial, the tyre wear or tyre heating, if you like, is not actually simulated in that. So I have to stop yawning. So it tries to keep everything equal. It had a more of a representative lap time, I feel. The tracks don't feel much different. Some of the curvatures of the bends do between the official F1 and more so Raceroom. So I think Assetto Corsa, the track I had, and Formula 1 were closer together for a representation of the current Hungaroring. But overall, even though initially I slated the game, it did crash at the end. I'll see if I can put that in, but it did crash. But yeah, it was surprisingly good. And then finally we moved on to Raceroom, a bit more of a generic title with no, as far as I'm aware, definitely not Formula 1 wise. I don't know about some of the newer tracks, laser scanned, they could be, but I don't. Well, this one definitely hasn't been laser scanned, and if it has been laser scanned, it's nothing like the official F1 game. So which I'm led to believe that was laser scanned or transferred over from previous titles which were laser scanned. I don't know. The Hungaroring in the Assetto Corsa version is just, it might be a copy of something. I don't know. I don't know the full story, but Assetto Corsa felt very close to the F1 2022 and the Raceroom track Hungaroring, although it was similar, felt it was a further away, if it makes sense. You could tell the radius of some of the corners, the amount of room on some of the curbs, the line you could take through some of those sweeping like left and then right corners, which inherently is what makes Hungaroring like a little miniature kart track. So the end result is, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, Raceroom probably the most fun. Definitely the best sound, but then again, it's not a hybrid car, but it's definitely the most fun. It feels superb under the steering wheel, so don't yawn. The force feedback, sort of the feeling of grip when grip goes, the sort of the oversteer, understeer, underbrake, very good. Second, I would say F1 2022 was probably the best all-rounder, probably the best graphics. The car's more updated, which you'd expect. The Hungaroring does look, in my opinion, more realistic. Force feedback and feel of the car, definitely an improvement over the previous title. Don't yawn again. Why am I yawning? I'm thinking about it. Assetto Corsa is probably, for me, it's easier to get into and I'm sort of backtracking a bit. The field of view is a bit harder to set in Assetto Corsa, and when I mean harder, I mean trying to get it accurate. But you know, the custom shaders patch and the soul mod, I'm pretty sure you can make it look better, but it was nicely done. Initially, I would have gone AC, and until I played the new variant of the Formula 1, and they're the sort of the officialnesses of it, I guess. And then, but Raceroom's completely off topic, but it was the most fun. They don't have like a hybrid F1 type of car, not yet anyway. So that was very interesting. So I hope you enjoyed it, really. I hope you got something out of it, got a bit of, you know, insight on the 3 different games. There are other games, clearly, that I could have used. R Factor 2 would have been a good one, and I still might do an R Factor 2 one on a standalone video, just to compare a modern-ish F1 car to a Hungaroring, which I know got Hungaroring in there. But yeah, well, that's it for now. That's my end of my video hat version. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe and share, it's much appreciated. Makes a change to do some sim racing content rather than my RC. I've got plenty of RC. I'm looking at them now that I can get on with. I've got a couple of new kits as well, so there'll be other stuff coming out on the channel soon. But that's it for now. Again, appreciate your time. Enjoy your sim racing, and bye for now.